finally, let's touch on financial problems. And the only thing I want to talk about is, again, simple versus compound interest. And like I mentioned yesterday, simple interest is called simple exactly because the way it's calculated. It's a simple calculation. Compound interest means that the interest is accumulating based on the interest grows because the principal grows. So let's just look at one example. And again, whenever you see a financial problem, draw a timeline. So t equals 0, t is 1. Usually this is like 1 year or 1 month, 2, 3. And then it's going to give you something like, for comparison, right? So bank A, bank B, and then you have $100 to deposit. Bank A gives you simple interest of 10%. Bank B gives you compound interest at, I'm going to put 9% this time. Okay, so then for simple interest, you're always going to have $100 here, right? Every single year, doesn't matter which year into the future, every year, the interest calculation is based on the original $100. So it's 100 times 10% equals $10 plus the original 100. So now you have 110. And then the second year, you have $110 plus the interest. The interest is calculated based on the original amount. This is the original amount, right? Times 10% equals $120. So you can see that the interest is always the same throughout all the years. So that's simple. That's why it's called simple interest. So for the third year, again, you don't even have to think. You just keep, because it's simple interest, you just keep writing down or adding the same interest amount every year. So this is going to be $130. So then for bank B, which is compound, we're going to have this, right? The first year, we're going to have $100 plus $100 times 9% interest. This is going to be $9, so this is going to be $109. The second year, it compounds or accumulates, right? So the second year, you have $109 from the end of the previous year, plus the interest is now based on the amount you have, 109 times 9%. So let's do the calculation here. So it's 109 times, so that's $9.81. So that's going to be $118.81. And then the third year, this amount gets carried over to the third year. Plus, to calculate the interest, you use this amount to calculate the interest. 81 times 9%. Now you have $129.50. It's almost caught up, right? So you can see that simple interest, if you kind of just like remember this graph in general, then simple interest, let's say you have starting point is $100 and this is time. Simple interest just grows like that. Every year it grows by $100, or excuse me, every year it grows by $10. And then third year you're gonna have like $130 here. So for compound interest at a lower interest rate, right? You're gonna have, it's gonna grow lower at first because the interest earned is less than the interest earned at the straight line, simple interest. So the compound interest goes like that, but it starts to accumulate, accelerate, and then right around here, it's gonna cross over. And then now the compound interest is going to exceed or outperform the simple interest. If you extend the timeline long enough, any compound interest is going to defeat or is going to beat any simple interest because of this graph, the whole concept of this. So there's just two things to note for financial problems. Number one, the concept of simple versus compound. For simple interest here, the interest amount every year is always the same because it's always going to be the original $100, original amount times the interest rate. For compound interest, the interest accumulated every year is based on the amount of money that you have. So first year is going to be 100 times 9%. The second year, the interest is going to be 9% times whatever money you already have. Not the original $100, not that, but the amount that you have in your hand times 9%. And third year, again, same thing. So for that reason, we have this graph here. You have simple interest going at a straight line, and then you have compound interest. It starts off slow, and then it picks up, and then it accelerates. So compound interest, given enough years or given enough time, is always going to defeat the simple interest outcome. So that's it.